What's going on, ladies and gents? Dingerous here, bringing you guys today some more Rainbow Six Siege gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about Valkyrie. Valkyrie is the new operator that came out with the Dustline DLC, and she brings quite a few interesting things to the table, that being her 4 deployable cameras. Now, the Black Eye deployable cameras are really powerful gadgets if you use them properly, and throughout the gameplay here you'll see me utilize them in some different ways, and I'll give you some tips and some things that I found useful, and you guys are more than welcome to freely share what your guys' tips with the cameras are too, because they do have a lot of uses. So, first off, Valkyrie comes with the MPX and the SPAS 12. Both guns are really good. I prefer the MPX a lot more. It has a very nice fire rate. It doesn't have too bad recoil, and you can even put a compensator on it as well to further reduce it, and most people do that anyways. It also comes with a grip that you can buy as well, so it's really nice. The thing is 970 RPM it has, and a 32 max damage, a little bit on the low side, but that rate of fire really pumps it out, where it's pure accuracy, almost to the point where if you aim a little at the chest, your bullets will probably fly at their head, and it's a nice little gun. The SPAS 12, on the other hand, it's an okay shotgun. I don't like it too much. It's good. It just, I don't know. I prefer using other shotguns compared to it. Maybe it's just because I love the MPX. It's one of my favorite guns of all time in general, but I don't know, maybe bias is taking me over there. But the SPAS 12 is a really nice shotgun. Semi-auto, I think it holds 7 shells, which is nice, and I think it does a total of 50 damage, if I remember. So yeah, it's a really nice shotgun, and the recoil isn't too bad. You just gotta be careful when spamming some of these semi-auto shotguns. Alright. She has the Deagle as well. I didn't talk about the Deagle in the last Blackbeard video. The Deagle has insane chunks of weird looking recoil, like it literally just flies up on your screen. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely something interesting. It definitely doesn't look like the bullets are going to wind up the same place you're focused, I guess we'll say, when you're shooting. She has the option between the deployable shield and nitro cell. Nitro cell is usually best with her just because you want to counteract shields, and you can actually do some funny shit with her cameras. So speaking of her cameras, let's talk about those. The Black Eye deployable cameras, when deployed and you actually spectate through them, they're labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you and your teammates are using something, using your communication, using your voices to communicate, and, you tell your teammates, okay, camera 1's in the lobby, camera 2's on the stairs, camera 3's over there, and camera 4's over there, and you guys remember that, you can give better call-outs, be like someone just crossed over, camera 1, they're in that section in there. So if you remember that, that's a good tactic. The cameras she has a very good arm, actually. They can get in some high to reach places. Some tactics that we saw people use in the stream, and I see people use now, is they'll stand beside a window or behind some cover, and they'll throw a camera on the wall, and they'll use it to spectate the wall there to see if anyone pokes their head and do anything fancy like that, and then they can turn around and kill them if they've got the opportunity to. The opportunity occurs to do that. I like that tactic. The only thing that I have to say against it is that when you throw your camera, if the person's paying attention, they're going to A, see where the camera was thrown from, and B, they now kind of know you're there because they just watched you throw a camera. So it's pretty much going to be a stalemate between you two waiting. Yes, that still plays in your favor as a defender because you'll make the timer run out, but if there are other people alive and he's like, hey, Valkyrie's over there, you're probably going to get mollywop because you're sitting on your camera. Useless. It's very situational. Many things can happen from it, but if you do it in the right positions, it is effective. If you do it in the wrong positions, you're going to get popped. So something else I like to do is you'll see throughout the gameplay here, some tactic I like to use. I always just disperse my cameras. My preferred choice is putting in rooms around the objective so we know where they're coming from when they enter and things like that. Just so you can get a little cheeky with it, and you can maybe flank some enemies, where they're concentrating from. You can start spotting them, scrambling them, make them take their time. Whatever tactic you really want to, I guess, escalate from what you've used your camera from there. And then you can proceed to flank them, as I already said. That's what I like to do. But also another tip is I like just to place the camera regularly, and I'll go hide somewhere far from the objective. Now what you're thinking, why are you running far from the objective? Well, I'll leave the camera there, and once the attacking team starts to get in their action phase, when they're all like, okay, we're at the objective, we blew open the wall, they got that tunnel vision of focusing on the enemy. that's when I come in, walk behind them, and just wreck some face with the MPX or the SPAS 12 or the Nitro Cell. Most times it works. Most times someone will usually hear me coming if I'm sprinting too quickly or, being an idiot along those lines. But most times it usually turns out quite well. So if that's some tactic that I really like to utilize. Other than that, there isn't too much to know just tactic-wise. Now, for the cameras themselves, they have a wider field of view, they can rotate 360 degrees, and they actually amplify sounds, I wouldn't say stronger, they make things sound more bassy, if that's a correct word. They bring out the bass and things. You can hear footsteps with more of a thud, so you know when things are getting closer. Gunfire is more, you tell things more by the sound of the bass. I don't know if some people like that or some people don't. I find it to be quite useful. The cameras overall are really a great gadget. They don't glow neon bright red like the other cameras do, but they do glow blue when they're in use, which they have to so they can see where they are. But if you put it in a high enough position where the enemy team winds up, focusing on it too long when you're spotting them, and they keep turning around looking for this camera, that's when one of your teammates, if you're using communication, be like, look, they're distracted, hit them now. That's something also we like to do. There's many things you can do with cameras. You just have to be smart with them. You kind of distract them with spotting them. Just use your communication without spotting them. Just, do whatever you so please think would be the best idea and sort your way through killing people and using the cameras to the best of your advantage. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I got a couple comments asking for every gun versus the shield. I'm going to have to see if we can sit down and do that. That's going to take a bit, so hopefully I can get that out soon. I'm going to have my review on the border map, kind of a fly through of the map. We're still trying to learn the map. The thing's bloody huge. So yeah, without further ado, thank you guys once again. Share your tactics with Valkyrie down below in the description. We'd love to hear, and we'll see you sexy beasts in the next episode. Peace.